what's up? Thunder RC, welcome back. And today we're gonna build a brand new death ramp. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe. We're at Ace Hardware. We're gonna go check it out. That I get some good wheels for this death ramp because this death ramp is gonna be pretty big, and you know I don't want to drag it down the street. So there's a lot of options here. Ooh, something like this. These are a little nicer. They've got those casters on them. That looks like that might get the job done. Let's see how much these are. Ooh, $8 a piece. Yeah, a little gougy there. It's a little bit bigger here. How much is this one? $8.99. You're getting a better wheel. Look at that. Just like $1 more. Look at that. I think that's the way to go, guys. Look at that's heavy duty there. Yeah, let's do that. That looks pretty solid. I got some wood screws, and we're gonna go check out the lumber. Yeah, we're going a little bigger this time. This is what I used last time. This is what we're gonna do this time. All right, so I just discovered that lumber in Rockport, resort town where I live, is way too high. That's the perks of living here in Touristville. So we're gonna drive to another town, go to a Lowe's, and see what we can find there. Okay, so we drove to another town, about 20 minutes away. We're at Lowe's Indoor Lumber Yard. I'm sure we're gonna find the perfect wood for the perfect death ramp. Let's do it. There's a little car in here. We'll get 2 sheets. 2 sheets is what we need. Now we're talking. Okay. Let's look around for a few little other things that we might need, like screws and whatnot over here. Let's go get the screws. So this is actually my 4th ramp that I've built. This will be my 2nd death ramp. The other 2 were just minis that went in the car. But you know, it's been a learning process, and over time learning how the big rigs affects the ramps. So you want to make this thing really strong. If you're gonna be running 8S rigs, you know, you want a lot of wood screws, a lot of bracing. Oh yeah, the death ramp, guys, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the ultimate death ramp. That's right, do it up right here. All right, guys, so lumber has definitely gone up like everything else. So I did manage to get 2 sheets of plywood. These sheets are 1/4 inch. It's real good for the ramp. I've got the thicker stuff at home, but you're gonna need a 1/2 inch big old piece of plywood for the side walls. Then I've got some of this slant wood here. These little bitty, these were like $3 a piece. And I got some wood screws and some gloves. It all came out to about $91.55. So definitely worth it to build your own death ramp. A little pricey, but that's what we do in RC, right? So let's head back to the house and let's start putting this puppy together. So back at the pad and backyard, got everything here. So what I didn't buy at the lumber store is a piece of plywood I already had. And if you're gonna build your own death ramp, you're definitely gonna need something like this. This is a 1/2 inch piece of plywood, super heavy. These are quite expensive. I think right now they're probably running $60, $70 a sheet. So this piece of plywood is going to be the actual framework of the death ramp. So these are going to be the side walls. You need something real beefy. That's why I go with 1/2 inch. Tools you're probably going to need right off is if you have a table saw, then awesome. I don't. I'm unlucky. I don't have a table saw. So I got a jigsaw here. Standard jigsaw works really good. Or you can do it with a grinder, believe it or not. With the skill saw, it's hard to get that curve. So what I do with the grinder, if you don't have a jigsaw, you have a grinder, just trace a pattern, you know, with that curve. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then you can finish it off with the skill saw or whatever. Always, when you're using a skill saw, of course, be very careful. These tools are very dangerous. You guys know that. You cut your fingers and your arms off. You don't want this to turn into a Saw episode, a Saw movie. Live to bash another day, right? So safety is everything. Now measurements, I do measure some stuff, but I'm not, you know, an electrical engineer with 4 degrees, and you know, I'm not going about this for perfection. I'm just, a lot of this is just trial and error. Like I said, this is my 4th ramp, and so I just kind of eyeball a lot of it. When I actually make the arc of the ramp, I don't have a perfect, swoop to it. I just kind of draw it by hand, and then I trace it out, I cut it, and then I use what I cut as basically a stencil for the next piece. So I'll show you how we do that. Some other tools that you might need that really come in handy, obviously, is a tape measure. This is one of my favorites. If you have a really nice square, a good straight edge, and this has measurements on it, this is great. Pencil, Sharpie markers, and something I don't have is sawhorses. So I just use the backyard furniture as a sawhorse, and I try not to tear it up, obviously, and it works. But if you got a sawhorse, that's better. Okay, so this plywood is 8 feet in length. Let's measure the width. Looks like 4 in width. I had to guess. Right at 4. So 8 by 4. This is the most difficult step because you're kind of shooting in outer space, There's a lot of better ways of doing this. I just don't really have a template, and so I'm creating one. And so I just kind of scribble some lines till I see a curve that I think is decent for the ramp. Okay, so I got some stanchions here. Like I said, I'm not striving for perfection, but this is the general idea. These are 8 inches each, and I need to put one on the bottom there, so 4. And I'm going to hit this with a grinder and grind them off. Essentially what this does is this allows a 2x4 or whatever to sit right here. So it gives it support, as you can see. And when you screw this into the ramp from the side, then this is also getting support here. And then when we put our top sheet on, the top sheet will screw to the 2x4. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. I want to show you what I did. So at Thunder RC, we don't waste any wood. So I just took the remaining plywood that I had of that 1/2 inch, and I made me just some cross beams. Now they look hanky-janky, I know. They're just whatever. They're not perfect. But this is not the actual bracing of the ramp. I want to explain to you what's going on here. This is just what the wood's going to screw to. It's got some nice flex to it. This is very important. You want your ramp to flex. If there's no flex, it's very hard on the truck. It just slams into something. So flex is good. I've got my flex. I've got my stanchions and my cross beams. So everything's coming together. Now what I have to do is I'm going to get some real thick 2x4s, and I'm going to create my bracing. And I'm going to put bracing here and in here. I'm going to put a bracing in the middle here and here. And then I'm going to put a bracing in the rear here and here to really support this thing. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. I have all my bracing, my stanchions, everything. So these are actual 2x4s. This is some treated wood that I had, great stuff. And in between here, this is just a 1/2-inch plywood that I just cut into strips. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it's just there. So what these cross beams do is they allow flex, whereas these, very minimum flex, and then this is a little bit of flex. So you get like a mixture. This is a great design, so you just split it up, 2x4 and 1/2-inch plywood, 2x4, 1/2-inch plywood, 2x4, 1/2-inch plywood, all the way up. I also have bracing down in here with another 2x4. And so now what we have to do is we're going to cut the top sheets so to length and screw them on. Well, it's time. The death ramp is finally finished. Just look at the size of this beast. Look at this. Come check it out. The death ramp number 2 is back. So now it's time to paint it. There she is, guys. Death ramp number 2 in all its glory. And we are gonna send it. This ramp is insane. If you have seen bigger launches than that, then let me know. But yeah, this is the death ramp. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, because more action is coming. That's it for the X-Max. What did we break now? Oh, just the pin popped out. That's no big deal. So let me explain that to these guys. Okay, so when I put the X-Max back together, I didn't put my RPM captured hinge pins on, and now I'm paying for it. You see why? These pins just pop out of the arm. It's not even really a break, so easy fix.